The concept of the rapture, the belief that Christians will be taken up to meet Christ in the air at his return, is based on several key New Testament passages. Though the word rapture itself is not found in the Bible, the teaching is drawn from the Greek term harpazo, meaning to snatch away or to seize. This belief primarily centers on three foundational scriptures: 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17, 1 Corinthians 15:51-52, and Matthew 24:30-31. 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17. For the Lord himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Then we who are alive and remain will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we shall always be with the Lord. NASB. This passage is central to the idea of the rapture. It describes the return of Jesus and the gathering of believers, both those who have died in Christ and those still living. The emphasis here is on the hope and expectation that the faithful will join Christ in his coming, marking a reunion of the church with its Lord. The trumpet of God and the rising of believers point to a dramatic event of divine intervention. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 51-52. Behold, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. In this passage, the Apostle Paul speaks of a mystery revealed, that not all believers will experience physical death, sleep, but all will undergo a transformation. This rapid change, which occurs in the twinkling of an eye, suggests a sudden and miraculous event. The last trumpet is again mentioned, tying this passage to the previous one and signaling the fulfillment of God's redemptive plan. Matthew 24:30-31. And then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of the sky with power and great glory. And he will send forth his angels with a great trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the sky to the other. Here, Jesus himself speaks of his return in power and glory. The mention of angels and the trumpet recalls the earlier passages, but the focus here is on the global nature of this event. People from every corner of the earth will witness the return of Christ. This gathering of the elect aligns with the previous scripture's depiction of believers being brought together at Christ's return. Theological insights. The rapture is rooted in the promise of Jesus' return and the hope of believers being united with him. These passages provide a foundation for understanding that the rapture will be a dramatic event marked by the resurrection of the dead and the transformation of the living, all happening in an instant at the sound of the final trumpet. While there is some debate regarding the timing of the rapture in relation to other end-times events, such as the tribulation, these scriptures provide clarity on the certainty and nature of this gathering. The key focus of these verses is the assurance that Jesus will return, and those who belong to him will be with him forever. Conclusion. The biblical foundations of the rapture offer believers great hope. Whether living or deceased, all who are in Christ will be part of this extraordinary moment of divine intervention. As 1 Thessalonians 4:18 encourages, therefore comfort one another with these words, NASB. The message of the rapture is one of encouragement, reminding believers to remain steadfast and hopeful in anticipation of Christ's glorious return.